This is a made-up holiday history report from Professor Pizza. The 4th of July, or July 4th as it's known throughout the rest of the world, is one of the loudest holidays in America. Echoing throughout the land on this day, from sea to shining sea, are the sounds of laughing, cheering, fireworks, cries of pain, cries of horror, sirens, and calls to look for fingers in the street. It's how we celebrate our independence from the tyranny of dictators, and safety warnings. But what's the history of this holiday? In the 18th century, that's the 1700s for my American audience, King George III of England really liked taxing things. He also liked showing the American colonies that just because they were 3,000 miles apart didn't mean he couldn't treat them like second-class citizens who were fully under his thumb. So, he taxed them on everything. He taxed their pizza cutters, their pizza ovens, their flour, and trade goods that arrived in American harbors were substandard, sometimes broken. Pizza cutters were flimsy, and many colonials had to sharpen what were supposed to be their new items. King George was making it harder and harder to make quality pizza in the colonies. Rumors abounded that he had started his own restaurant in England, and he was trying to sabotage colonial pizza so people would visit his place and he could start a chain. Tensions grew in the colonies. Many citizens were now calling themselves Americans, longing to differentiate themselves from the pompous aristocracy, drinking fine wine and eating pizzas made using molecular mixology. Things came to a head when the king finally taxed pizza itself in the colonies. Outrage flooded. In Boston, the Sons of Liberty threw a pizza party by throwing pizzas into the harbor. They spent the next couple of years calling for independence and freedom from England. Enough support was gained that the British sent more and more troops to get the colonials in line. The love of pizza burned too brightly, though, and the colonials rebelled with force. War was declared by the new Continental Congress, and the British sought to put down the treasonous leaders of this rebellion. Many years the war lasted. Pizza storerooms were raided and burned down. Pizza ovens were destroyed by the British on sight. King George declared tomatoes and basil illegal in the colonies. The price of flour went up. At Valley Forge Camp, supplies were so low, soldiers had to spread olive oil and Parmesan cheese on boiled shoes as makeshift flatbreads. Gradually, the revolutionaries, who by this point considered themselves Americans, started winning battles. The French saw their chance to openly join against a common foe and sent support to the colonies. The Americans accepted the help, despite the French having weird cheeses like Camembert and Reblochon that aren't traditionally used for pizza. The alliance paid off, and the British were defeated at Yorktown. King George was forced to acknowledge the colonies as independent from the crown, so he had to console himself with the numerous colonies in the Caribbean and elsewhere in the world. The new American government was free to tax pizza however they wished, and only allowed landowning white males to place delivery orders over the phone. It truly was the dawn of a golden age. Thank you for joining me for this history. As always, thanks for having fun with pizza, and in the name of the Maz, the sauce, and the Holy Crust, Amen.